Hey everyone, welcome back. Or if you're just joining us, welcome to KSSP Podcast. I'm Spencer.
And I'm Kate.
And in this video, we're going to be going over what is the economy. So, what is the economy? It is the wealth and resources of a country or region, especially in terms of the production and consumptions of goods and services. And you may be wondering, how does it work? Well, there are many different economic theories, and here we're just going to briefly list and go over a few. So, there's monetarism, which is the theory or practice of controlling the supply of money as the chief method of stabilizing the economy. Then there's Keynesian. Keynesian economics are the various macroeconomic theories and models of how aggregate demand strongly influences economic output and inflation. In the Keynesian view, aggregate demand does not necessarily equal the productive capacity of the economy. There's market socialism, which is an economic system representing a compromise between socialist planning and free enterprise, in which enterprises are publicly owned, but production and consumption are guided by market forces rather than by government planning. Then we have classical. Classical market economies are, by definition, self regulating systems that are ruled by the laws of production and exchange. And lastly, we have modern monetary theory. Modern monetary theory, or MMT, is a heterodox macroeconomic theory that describes currency as a public monopoly and unemployment as evidence that a currency monopolist is overly restricting the supply of the financial assets needed to pay taxes and satisfy savings desires. Now, that is not all the possible economic theories by any means, but we just wanted to provide a brief overview of a few possible different systems that you could see.
And then another important aspect when considering the economy is the wealthy. With them, we can't forget to also bring up wealth inequality and the dangers it poses. So today, there's more income and wealth inequality than at almost any time in U.S. history. So between 1978 and 2018, CEO compensation increased by more than 900%, while worker compensation increased by just 11.9%. That is ridiculous. But, anyways, three families own more wealth than the bottom half of America, and about half of all new income goes to just the top 1%. These extreme concentrations of wealth create both social and economic issues. It's hard to keep the economy strong when most of the income goes to the people at the top, who save rather than spend much of their income. Extreme concentrations of wealth also have a coercive effect on our political process and our democracy. Wealthy people can exert outside influence on the government by financing political campaigns, further enriching their power. And inequality can also weaken democracy and give rise to authoritarian movements. So, as we can see, wealth inequality in any type of economy can have dangerous consequences. But at least they pay their taxes, right? Well, tax cuts like those passed by Republicans in December of 2017 can actually be structured to widen the gap between the rich and the poor, delivering windfall gains to large corporations and the wealthiest people in our societies. The reasons Trump's personal tax cuts did little to boost the overall economy is because they were heavily skewed in favor of those at the very top of the income distribution. More than 80% of the benefits went to those in the top 1%, and as we brought up before, the rich are more likely to save their money rather than spend it and have it flowing through the economy. So the wealthiest Americans may be avoiding up to $163 billion, billion with a B, in income taxes every year, according to a report from the U.S. Department of Treasury. And while the U.S. tax brackets increase by income, the ultra wealthy often leverage laws to reduce how much they owe. So they actually make their income lower and they store their money in and get their money in other ways besides income.
And we all may now be wondering, well, is there anything we can do? And there is. It's not a hopeless situation per se. There are things we could do. We could step up enforcement, close loopholes, raise rates, and establish new forms of taxation. Those methods are all important levers to enable the government to achieve a more sustainable distribution of income and wealth. Taxing the rich is important, but it is not something to be used to mitigate inflation risk. But it's important to recognize the purpose of taxing the rich is not to pay for government expenditures, but to help us rebalance the distribution of wealth and income because the extreme concentrations that exist today are a threat, as we've already discussed, to both our democracy and the functioning of our economy. So, now that we've briefly gone over what an economy is, some different styles of economy, and the wealthiest people and how they affect our economy, we wanted to delve a little bit more into one of the types of theories of the and how an economy can run, which is MMT. So join us in our next video where we are going to provide a little introduction into what MMT is. And also feel free to leave a comment below letting us know what topics you would like us to go over in future episodes.
Yeah, and you can reach out to us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And we also occasionally do Twitch live streams, so watch out for those.
So don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe and turn on notifications so that you know when we do. Otherwise, we will see everyone in the next video.